Hello vinyl community, this is Randy, back today with another video. Before I get started on this video and show you some records that I've picked up recently, I want to tell you I had my first vinyl community meetup this weekend. It was very exciting. I met up with Happy Hippie, the vinyl guy. It was really just a very short meeting. I tell you, Rod, Happy Hippie, the vinyl guy, lives in Clinton, which is just outside of Knoxville. And I'm from Knoxville originally and still have family and friends who live back there, so I was going there on Saturday. I contacted Rod a couple days before I was going and told him I would be in that area and would like to come by, and see if we could meet each other. So we did. I went by his antique store where he works, and the only problem was we just didn't really have enough time to do too much. I was, got a late start on Saturday morning, and then traffic and stuff like that. I had to meet with my brother, so yeah, we only got to talk for 10 or 15 minutes and stuff. But it was great to meet Rod. I think he said it was his first VC meetup too. So yeah, it was great, and yeah, he's just like he seems on YouTube, I guess. So yeah, great guy. So and hopefully we're gonna be able to get together again. So. Yeah, because I go to Knoxville occasionally, 5 or 6 times a year, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll get together soon. Maybe, hopefully, be able to do some record digging. So we'll see what happens with that. I've gotten some new records. I want to share those with you. These are all really good records, I think. So what we're hearing in the background right now is this new record from what's actually from 2 bands. This is one side is dedicated to each band. So it's Prana Crafter and Travellin is the other band. Travellin, I assume that's how that's pronounced. Symbiosis is the name of the album. I think it's a fantastic album cover. This record is on Beyond is Beyond Records. I had the subscription last year to Beyond is Beyond, and the first thing they sent me was a cassette from Prana Crafter, which was excellent. All Prana Crafter is one guy named William Sol, S-O-L, who plays piano, and this is what we're hearing right now. Plays guitar, not piano. And there's overdubs and stuff, and it goes on for about 20 minutes. It's just one long song on that side. His is called Jagged Mountain Meets at Dawn. I think it's really good. It's just psychedelic guitar is all it is. Side 2 is Travellin, and Travellin is 2 people, PJ Dorsey and Jack Moore, and their song is called We Move Slowly Through the Past. It's very similar to Prana Crafter. I mean, I think I would have difficulty telling them apart, except that with Travellin at the end of their song, which is also about, I think, 15 to 20 minutes long, they do have some drums and some other, I think there's some keyboards in this too. So yeah, this is on colored vinyl, but I'm playing it right now so you can see that. Excellent record there. The next one I'm really excited about. I've waited the longest time to get this. I've been looking for it forever, and I finally just went ahead and ordered it off of Discogs because I found one on there that looked like it was going to be in good shape, and it just seems like they're not going to reprint it anymore, or at least I've been waiting for it for long enough. So UFO, Strangers in the Night. This album is great. I was thinking about this album, and I think it's great. It rocks, and so I just thought this record really deserves a little bit more than that. So I contacted Scott Waters at No Life Till Metal. I just left a comment for him after one of his videos and asked him if he had any thoughts on this record. Because he's the metal guy, or one of the metal guys. I watch several of the metal channels, and yeah, I like them. All the ones that I watch, I rarely comment on those channels because I don't really listen to that music, but it's very interesting to watch them, and the people are really into it, and all the great album covers and everything. So, and most of them, listen to some older stuff too. So anyway, I asked Scott about this, and he got back. I asked him if he could just provide a comment, and he did. He got back to me. So Very kind, very thoughtful. Thanks for doing that, Scott. And here's what he had to say. Um, UFO Strangers in the Night is one of the greatest live albums ever recorded. They say that live albums are an end of an era, and that was certainly the case with Strangers in the Night, the end of the Michael Schenker era. This album also showed an end to the first wave of British heavy metal, as we saw the second wave of British heavy metal moving in with Saxon, Iron Maiden, Raven, Def Leppard, etc. So, yeah, Scott Waters at No Life Till Metal says that UFO Strangers in the Night is one of the greatest live albums ever recorded. I certainly agree with that wholeheartedly. In the first place, it has one of the best album covers. I think you can really see that pretty well. Those are like pixelated drawings or photographs, I guess, with these colors on while it opens. So, yeah, fantastic album cover. It's a 2-record set, recorded in 1979 in the United States, and really all their great songs are on here. So yeah, it starts out with Natural Thing, Only You Can Rock Me on side 1, Doctor Doctor on side 1. Side 2 slows down a little bit, some ballad type songs. Side 3 is incredible, Lights Out, and one of the greatest hard rock songs ever, Rock Bottom, with really one of the best riffs. Jeff Kempen, I think, had that contest on riffs, and boy, Rock Bottom. I would do a needle drop on this, except I was listening to it, and the song starts out with sort of an introduction, which is also really cool, and then it goes into this main riff, so I probably won't actually do a needle drop because it'd be awfully long, but I am going to, I think I'm going to try to leave a link down there so you can hear it for yourself. It's just, yeah, Rock Bottom is the one. That song goes on for about 10 minutes. It's just awesome. And then side 4 just keeps it all up. I mean, it's just such a great album. Side 4 starts with Too Hot to Handle, I'm a Loser, Let It Roll, and then it ends up with Shoot Shoot. So, yeah, UFO, Strangers in the Night. So glad to have finally got this. One of the greatest live albums ever. Thanks very much to Scott Waters also for that comment. I really appreciate that. And check out his website, No Life Till Metal. I mean, it's an incredible website. I mean, he has the history of hard rock and heavy metal all there. So it's great. Here's what this record looks like. It's just basic chrysalis label. I've started doing this new thing. I got this idea from Mason at Vinyl, where he puts the MoFi sleeve. This is torn. It was already torn though. Inside the original inner sleeve. So I thought that was a really cool idea. So I'm borrowing that. So thanks for that idea, Mason. I got another one off Discogs. 3-Man Army. This is the Gervitz brothers again. The two guys who were in Gun. So they had the 2 Gun albums, which I've been fortunate enough to get both of those now. Both great. And I guess after they did those 2 albums, they split apart and did some stuff with some other people separately. But then they got back together as 3-Man Army with a drummer named Tony Newman. I guess the Gervitz brothers, they also went by Curtis. So on this album, the bass player is going by Paul Gervitz, and the guitar player is going by Adrian Curtis. So about 1970, I think, for this album, and I really like it a lot. It's unusual. They had an album in England first called 3-Man Army, which didn't come out in the U.S., I don't think. Then they had this record, which is just called 3-Man Army in the U.S., but in Europe it's called Mahisha, which is the first song on side 2. Excellent song. Great title song. And then they do have a third album, 3-Man Army. I'm not sure what the name of that is. I'll be looking for those other 2 3-Man Army records. And then after they did the 3-Man Army albums with Tony Newman on drums, I guess he left, and they picked up Ginger Baker, and it became Ginger Baker's Army. So I'm definitely going to be looking for that one too. This album is, hard rock. It's really like early 70s rock. It's not necessarily all that heavy metal, or some of it's just rock and roll songs. Some sort of easygoing, laid-back type songs, and I really like them a lot. This inner, I'm going to open the gatefold sleeve. This is awesome. You might just want to pause that and have a look. Particularly Paul Gervitz, and just notice his pants along with his shoes. Certainly the best dress band in rock and roll for the early 70s. So yeah, this album absolutely rocks. I'm really liking it a lot. Yeah, Three Man Army. That is on just the standard Reprise label. I saw on Grimey's webpage last week that Flower Travellin Band re-released this record. So I went by and picked it up. Satori is the name of the record. Flower Travellin Band is a Japanese band from the early 70s. I've heard of this record quite a bit in the VC. It's a psych record. I think Psychedelic Sean, Wax in the Year, I'm pretty sure has shown this one. I think some other people too, probably maybe Psychedelic might have. So I've been looking for it, and they reissued it, so it was great. I was glad to be able to get this one. Flower Travellin Band, so fantastic gatefold sleeve. See that? Yeah, so I was a little bit surprised at it's a little bit of an Eastern feel to some of it, but it goes through quite a few changes and things. There is vocals in it, sort of a one of the reviews I read called it a banshee scream from the singer, and it is very interesting vocals. You can't tell they're Japanese, actually. There's no accent at all when they're singing the words. Psychedelic music. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm going to listen to this a lot more. So yeah, Flower Travellin Band. Really happy to finally be able to get that one. Oh yeah, and it's on this extremely cool red vinyl. It's on Phoenix Records, which, as far as I can tell, is the original record label. I think that's right. So yeah, Flower Travellin Band. So I went by Grimey's to pick that one up. While I was in there, I was just looking around before I left to make sure I wasn't missing anything important, and I saw this creamed Israeli gears. I thought to myself, I would get that if it were mono. So I picked it up, and it was in mono. So that was great. I already had the Israeli gears. I have a stereo version of it from the mid 70s. It's a good copy, but I always want mono, and so I was really glad I picked this up. This was like a 2007 pressing on Reaction Records, which evidently is a Russian company, but it says it was produced in the EU, and it's licensed through Universal Music, and it's listed on Discogs, so it's not a bootleg, I don't think. So yeah, mono, and it's embossed. This part right here is it's an embossed cover, so really nice album cover. I think everybody's seen Disraeli Gears before. I love this album. The last song on each side, Blue Condition on side 1, Mother's Lament on side 2. I mean, I think the record would have been much better if they just totally left them off. I would have rather had a shorter record rather than having those two songs on their novelty type songs. But anyway, still a great album. And it came with this cool inner sleeve, which mine did not have this inner sleeve, so I was really glad about that. And on a really cool label, which I've never seen before. Yeah. So made in the EU. And yeah, it is mono record and sounds just excellent. So yeah, great album. And I did look up online to see what it means, and the second song on side 2, SWLABR, She Walks Like a Bearded Rainbow. So there you go, She Walks Like a Bearded Rainbow. While I was there at Grimey's, I picked up the 2018 Moon Taxi record. I'd never gotten it yet, and I love Moon Taxi. This is their 4th album. I have the first 3. Isn't that a great album cover? I really like that cover. I'm not sure how well that shows. I think it shows pretty well. Beautiful album cover. Let the Record Play is the name of this record. Moon Taxi, they do short 3 to 4 minute pop songs. It's a lot of productions. This is not the type of music that I would think of myself as normally listening to, but I really like this band. I really like their songs. Really well played and produced. Oh, and another reason I got this was because when I went to that Garcia celebration a couple weeks ago, the lead singer and guitarist for Moon Taxi was one of the performers there. He did 3 or 4 songs. He was just excellent. Really good guitar player. I'm really liking this album a lot too. So yeah, Moon Taxi. Let the Record Play. That comes with the custom. It's on RCA Records. Comes with a custom label, and you get insert with the lyrics, which is great. I like to read along with the lyrics. Really are well written songs with some catchy words. I got in the mail. I ordered in advance. I'm finally jumping on the bandwagon here. I read the preview of it, everything when they were advertising it, that it was going to be available through mail order. So I went ahead and ordered it. It is, what's the name of the band? Yeah, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. This is their 15th album. Incredible. Yeah. XV 15. The name of the album, actually, I think, is Infest the Rat's Nest. And I read about this. I ordered this from ATO Records online. It's a gatefold sleeve. You know, I first put this on and I was like, man, this is like speed metal. I mean, it sounds like Metallica. You know, I can't believe this sounds like this. And then I went back and looked at the thing where they were advertising it to me, and that was just about exactly what they said in the advertisement, so I shouldn't have been surprised. I ordered it like a month in advance. I guess I'd kind of forgotten. But yeah, this is like speed metal. The guy sounds like James Hetfield singing, and it was totally different. So first time I heard it, I was, you know, not quite sure how I felt about it, but it has some really good psychedelic guitar riffs in it, and yeah, speed metal, and it sounds really good, and some really disturbing subject matter. It's basically about the destruction of our planet, I think, but it's really fun to listen to. There's a song on here called Superbug, which is just it's a lot of fun to listen to. I really enjoyed it, you know, so it's cool. Heavy metal album, I guess you would call it, or speed metal or something like that. Yeah, so King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. So yeah, a lot of people, I think, you know, Rob Walker, I think, has been the main person that I've heard talking about this band, and but I think some other people have shown it too. So yeah, I really am enjoying this. And that came with inner sleeve with the words. Excellent. And then it also came with a poster, which all that crazy about, but I guess it's nice to have a poster. The poster is basically just the album cover. It's a big poster. Can you see that? Yeah, so anyway, I'm not a huge fan of this poster, but it's nice to have a poster. Yeah, so that's it. So those are my latest finds over the past couple weeks. So thanks again very much to Scott Waters for providing that, you know, that review of Strangers in the Night for me. I mean, that was just awesome. So I mean, see, with me you get, it's great, it rocks. You know, with Scott you get the whole history, you know, sort of the context of the album. So thanks again for that, and thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think about any of these records, and have a great day.